If you've been following along with the channel recently, this site might look familiar. It's the same one we pulled this scroll animation from a little while back. What I didn't mention at the time is just how much else it has going on, and one element in particular kept pulling me back. This landing page reveal animation. When the page loads, a grid of little blocks fills the screen, and a small progress marker travels across them, ticking up through the loading percentages before landing on the logo. Then the whole grid collapses away block by block, and the hero underneath is revealed. I found the concept pretty interesting, something we haven't really covered on the channel before. So inspired by that, I tried to put together a similar landing page reveal concept of my own, using a GSAP timeline, SplitText, and Flip. In this video, I'll walk you through the whole thing and show you how to build a reveal like this yourself, from the tile grid that fills the screen, to the marker that travels through the loading stops, to the collapse that clears everything away and brings the hero content in. So without wasting any time, let's get into the code. The markup and CSS here are pretty simple, and since the JavaScript is where all the real work happens, I'll move through this part fast, just enough that you can copy it and follow along. For the HTML, we start with the preloader, and inside it 3 pieces: a background layer that sits behind everything, an empty grid div where we'll build all our blocks in JavaScript, and the progress marker, the little square that travels across the grid with its starting number inside it. Below the preloader is the actual page, a nav with a logo and a few links, and then the hero, holding its background image, a big headline, and a line of subtitle copy. That headline and subtitle are what we'll reveal at the very end once the preloader clears away. For the CSS, we start with a font import and the usual resets, then some type styling on the headline and copy, big, bold, condensed for the title, nothing surprising there. The preloader is fixed over the whole screen and sits on top with a high Z index, so it covers the page until the reveal finishes. The grid is pinned dead center and set to flex with wrap, so the blocks we generate flow into rows and fill it. Each block gets our green as its background, and one small detail worth pausing on, a thin outline in that same green. That outline is there to cover the hairline gaps that can show between blocks from subpixel rounding, so the grid reads as one solid sheet of color. The progress marker sits above the grid, centered, with a mono font for that loading readout feel. And last, a media query. Since the layout shifts on smaller screens, we stack the nav links and the hero copy vertically, so everything still fits. And that's really all that matters in the CSS. Now let's get straight into the JavaScript. First of all, let's bring in the tools. We import GSAP, and alongside it 2 plugins, Flip and SplitText. Flip is what smoothly animates our marker from one block to the next, and SplitText breaks our headline and copy apart for the reveal at the end. Since they're plugins, we register them right after, and they're ready to use. Next, we grab the elements we'll need: the preloader itself, its background layer, the grid where our blocks will live, and the progress marker. Now, before we build anything, a bit of sizing. His desktop checks whether the screen is at least 1000 pixels wide, and from that, we set our max tile size, 85 on desktop, and a smaller 50 on mobile, so the blocks stay nicely scaled on narrower screens. Then we work out the grid. We take the screen width divided by that tile size to see how many blocks fit across, and the same going down for the rows. But we run both through this little snap to odd helper, which nudges an even number down to the nearest odd one. And that matters because an odd count guarantees there's always one exact center block, which we'll rely on later for placing the marker. With the count settled, we work out the real tile size. We take the smaller of the width and height divided by their counts, so the blocks stay perfectly square. Then we add 2 extra to each count, 1 spare block on every side, so the grid always overflows the screen edges instead of leaving a gap. And we size the grid element to hold all of them, so every row fills completely. Now we actually build the blocks. We loop the full count, and for each one create a div. Give it our tile class, set its width and height, drop it into the grid, and push it into an array so we can reach every block later. With the grid built, we need a way to find specific blocks in it, so we work out the middle row and center column, and write a small helper, tile at column, which reaches into a given column on that middle row. This is where that odd count pays off. There's a true center to aim at. Then we define the stops. The 4 blocks our marker will visit. Each one is an offset from the center column, and we adjust those offsets for mobile, pulling them in closer since there's less room across. The first, second, and third stops are spread out along the row, and the final stop is the center itself, where the logo lands. Now we mark those stops. We loop them and set each one white, both its background and its outline, so they stand out from the green grid as the marker's path, and their white outline blends cleanly instead of showing a green edge. Then everything else, We filter out the stops to get the rest of the blocks and set those to fully transparent so they start invisible and we can fade them in. And we size the marker to match a single block. Now to actually place the marker, we need positions. We measure the preloader's box once, then write get tile offset, which takes any block and returns its position relative to the preloader, and we use it right away to park the marker on the first stop. And last for this part, move marker to, the function that slides the marker from block to block. We capture where it is now with flips get state, move it instantly to the new block, swap its label, the percentage or the logo, and then call flip from, which takes that starting state and smoothly animates the jump we just made. That's the whole trick to the marker's travel. We move it instantly, then let flip animate the difference. Before we build the timeline, there's one more thing to prep, the hero copy. We write a small helper, split copy, that takes a selector and splits its text apart. And the key detail here is the mask option, which wraps each piece in a little clipping window. So when we push it out of place, it stays hidden until we animate it back. We run it 3 times, splitting the headline into characters, the subtitle into lines, and the nav links into words. Then we push all of them down below their masks, so they start hidden, waiting to rise into place at the end. Now the timeline itself. We create it with a 1-second delay, so there's a small beat before anything kicks off. First on it, the blocks fade in. We take all those transparent blocks and bring them to full opacity, but with a random stagger, so instead of appearing all at once, they light up scattered across the grid, one after another, filling it in. Then, once the grid is up, we turn the first 3 stops green. We animate both their background and their outline from white to that green, one after another with a small stagger, so they blend back into the grid as the marker passes through them. Notice the final stop isn't in here, it stays white, since that's where the logo lands. Now the marker travels 3 steps, each pinned to its own time on the timeline. It moves to the second stop and its label ticks to 50, then to the third stop at 75, and finally to the center stop, where we swap its text out for the logo image. And because each move runs through flip, the marker glides smoothly from one to the next. With the marker home, we drop the background layer, clearing it out just before the grid comes apart. Then the collapse, we grab every block except that final center one and scale them all down vertically to nothing, with their transform origin set to the top, so they collapse like blinds. And a tiny random stagger means they don't all go at once. The grid peels away block by block. We handle the center stop separately, collapsing it together with the marker sitting on top of it, so the logo and its block disappear as one clean piece. And finally the payoff, the hero reveal. As the grid clears, we bring the headline up, its characters rising out from under their masks in a random order, then the subtitle lines just after, and the nav words after that, each one slightly offset, so the whole page settles into place in a smooth cascade. And because we split everything with masking earlier, they slide up cleanly from behind their edges. And that's the whole thing, a landing page reveal, built with a GSAP timeline, flip, and split text. If you'd like to grab the source code, it's available through the Pro membership linked below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.